Ashik Guru Chidati Swami Sri Gauravananda Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Goswami Maharaj, all the devotees, thank you for coming. So last night, little sick. Sometimes happen. I apologize for that. Assurance. So, last Sunday, we discussed Rath Yatra, the biggest, I heard, biggest one-day religious festival on the earth. And last Sunday we heard the history of the appearance of Jagannath in the beginning of this day of Lord Brahma. So, what is the mood of Rath Yatra? After many years in Dwarka, Krishna, Jagannath means Krishna, he had strong desire, I want to go to Vrindavan. So he said to Lakshmi, so he leaves the big temple, that is the Sri Mandir, and for 10, 11 days, he goes to the temple of Gundicha. Gundicha represents Vrindavan. And very happy he stays there. So everyone happy, Krishna is happy, Brijbasi happy, only one person not happy. Who is that? Lakshmi. She became very angry. Jagannath is a big cheater. He said, I'm just going for a walk. 7 days finished. He's still not returned. So in the middle of the festival is Hera Panchami. So on that day, Lakshmi, being in an angry mood, she goes to visit the temple of Gundicha. She goes to visit Jagannath. But Radharani, what happiness Jagannath feels in this association of Radharani, he cannot find that in this, despite millions of Lakshmis. Because Radhika is the Ladini Shakti of Krishna. Ladini Shakti is that potency which always gives happiness to Krishna and which maintains the devotees. So therefore, Krishna Sukha Vilasa Ravini, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Who is Radhika? She is the treasure chest of all Krishna's happiness. Radhika Surup Krishna Prema Kalpalata. She fulfills all the desires of Krishna. So when Krishna is there with Radhika and Gundicha, then he forgets everything. But Lakshmi don't forget. Therefore, maybe Jagannath also feels fear, therefore, with his big eyes again and again he glances down this main road from which he came in the beginning of Rath Yatra. But Lakshmi is very clever. She not goes by the main road, she goes by the back streets. She has many servants. They carry her in one palanquin. And so by surprise, they appear in Gundicha outside. And then Lakshmi is very angry. So they break off pieces of the chariot of Jagannath. They catch the servants of Jagannath and beat them, not very hard, but and very bad language they use. The servants of Lakshmi use very bad language for Jagannath and his servants. And really bad language. You cannot repeat here what they say. So, in the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the devotees also were celebrating this Hera Panchami. And with great ecstasy they were watching him. So the devotees all have different moods. So especially Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur is incarnation of Narad Rishi. When he saw this, he began dancing in ecstasy. And what happened, we will hear a little bit now. Srivas Thakur said, Amar Lakshmi Dekar Shampati Vishta. Just see the opulence of my goddess of fortune. Because Narad worships Lakshmi Narayana. Vrindavana Sampad Dekar Pushpa Tishalai Gire Dhatu Siki Piksha Kunja Palamai. Srivas Thakur said, oh, just see, what is your Vrindavan? Your Vrindavan is nothing. What is the wealth of Vrindavan? Some peacock feathers, some minerals from Govardhan, some gunja berries. Vrindavan Dekibara Kero Jagannath Suni Lakshmi Devirumani Hoilo. Jagannath desired to see Vrindavan, therefore he left the abode of the goddess of fortune, Dwarka, and he came here. Seeing this, the goddess of fortune felt jealousy. She wondered, why did Jagannath give up so much opulence here in Dwarka? Why did he go to Vrindavan? The goddess of fortune became very angry and came there. Tumara Thakur deke eto sampatachari patra pal fullobe kelo pushpabari. The maid servants of the goddess of fortune, as Radhika has her servants, Lakshmi also has her servants. So they called the servants of Jagannath. They said, why did Jagannath give up so much luck, so much opulence of Dwarka? You can hear about the opulence of Dwarka. When Krishna married 16,108 queens, each queen has her own palace. Hey, and the palaces of the goddess of fortune, when Sudama Vipra went there, he also became astonished. Everything was gold, pearls, diamonds, lapis lazuli, silver, so much expensive. So why did Jagannath give up so much happiness of Dwarka, so much opulence, so much wealth, so many thousands and thousands of queens? And why did he go to Vrindavan? What is in Vrindavan? Leaves, flowers, a few trees? There is nothing there. Ekama kore kaha vitarta shirumani Lakshmi agratini prabhura dekyan. We have heard Jagannath is very intelligent and very expert. But why is he doing all these foolish things? In this way, the maidservants of Lakshmi arrested the servants of Jagannath. They bound them with silk ropes. They maybe beat them and abused them and dragged them before the goddess of fortune. The maidservants of Lakshmi fined the servants of Jagannath. What fine, I don't know. 20 kilos of sweets. So they forced the servants of Jagannath to bow to Lakshmi and beg forgiveness, and they plundered their possessions. The maidservants of Lakshmi took sticks and began to beat the Rathiyacha chariot. And they also would beat the servants of Jagannath, not hard, but out of affection. So they also broke off pieces of the chariot, gave so much abuse. So when the goddess of fortune saw this, she became very happy. Her mind was pacified somewhat, and she returned back. Especially the servants of Jagannath said, yes, very quickly we'll bring our Lord. Don't worry. Dugda Duti Darimati Kumar Gopigan Amara Thakurani Boise Ratnashnasam Shivastakas. Just see the opulence of my goddess of fortune. She is carried in a golden throne. And your gopis, what they know? All your gopis know is milking cows, collecting cow dung, making butter. That is all your gopis are good for. But just see the good fortune of my goddess of fortune. Shivas, who was absorbed in the mood of Naramuni, began dancing and making jokes. Very happy. So when the servants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Srivas's ecstasy, they began to smile. Prabhu koi Srivas tuma te narada swabha oishwarya bhav tuma te ishvara prabhav. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh Srivas, you are definitely Narad Muni. And the wealth, the opulence of the Supreme Lord is directly affecting you. But iho damara surup shuddha brijavashi aishwarya nanjaneha shuddha premavashi. But he was Surup Damodar, you know. Surup Damodar, one of the 3.5 main associates of Lord Chaitanya. Surup Damodar, Ramananda Roy, Shikim Hiti, and his sister Madhavi Devi. 3.5 main associates. So every night, Srivas, especially Surup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, would be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he would stay in the Gambhira all night. And they would sing different verses from Chandidas and Jayadev, from Vidyapati, from the Bhagavatam. And the ecstasy, by their speaking all these verses, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would feel ecstasy. So all night they would spend in the Lord Chaitanya. So Surup Damodar is so close to Lord Chaitanya, because Surup Damodar is the incarnation of Lalita Sati. Vrishabhanu Dadhi Navasasi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Visha. Rupa Goswami has written, Radhika has come from the ocean-like affection of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. Just like when you churn butter, when you churn milk, butter comes out. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj has so much parental affection for Radhika. So Radhika has come from that. Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishaki. And what's Radharani always do? She's always finding so much happiness. Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishaki. The qualities of Lalita and the association of Vishaka give so much bliss to Radharani. So Surup Damodar, he is pure Brijavasi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Braja Gopi Bhav, Hoy Be Swabhav, Anya Bhav Narahibe. When that day will come and I will forget all other moods, all other identities, and just have one mood, one identity, I am a Gopi, I am the servant of Radha. So Surup Damodar was fixed in this consciousness. So Surup Damodar, he never looks at the Brijavasis especially, he never look at the opulence of Krishna. They're only attracted by his sweetness. It said, even the Brijavasis see the opulence of Krishna, they never look at it. Nijas Sambandha Korimani. They always give importance to their own relationship with Krishna. Like when Krishna lifted Govardhan. That time Govardhan was 12 miles high. What's that? That's 1.5 times the size of Everest. 12 miles high, what's that? 60,000 feet high. Govardhan was 10 miles thick, like this. When Krishna lifted, Krishna was only 7 days old. And very easily he lifted on the fingernail of his left pinky. So this is amazing. Even someone in the Olympics lifts 200 or 300 kilos, everyone gives him a gold medal. But a small boy lifted a mountain that size, But Mother Yasoda had not looked at that. She only thinks my son. So instead of offering prayers to Krishna and becoming stunned, she chastised Krishna. Foolish child, give that mountain to me and go and take your lunch. Means Krishna comes from me, so if Krishna can live Govardhan, I can also live Govardhan. So even Krishna shows wonderful things. The Brijabasis, their relation with Krishna is not lost. No? Like when Krishna showed Arjuna the Virat Swarup in the Bhagavad Gita. Thousands of heads, thousands of arms, no beginning, no middle, no end. Inside everything and outside everything. When Arjuna saw the universal form, the feeling Krishna is my friend, that feeling evaporated. No? He thought God is my friend. But the feeling Krishna is God was prominent. So he begs Krishna for forgiveness. I'm very sorry. Many times I would joke with you. Where's Gopal? Why Gopal always runs away in class? Something bad. So Arjuna begged forgiveness. Oh, I did wrong. I joked with Krishna so much. But I did offense. I did not understand who he was. And he begged forgiveness. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramangalam, Purusham, Sasmitam, Divyam, Adideva, Majatam. With tears in his eyes and the hairs of his body standing when he becomes stunned in fear, he offered prayers to Krishna. And the feeling Krishna was my friend, that feeling evaporated. But Brijabasis are never like that. Like Mother Yasoda, my son is God. Big difference. God is my friend, like Arjuna, but the friends of Krishna, my friend is God. No problem. He may be God, he may not be God, but the main thing is he is my friend. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Swarup Damodar is pure Brijabasi. He never sees the opulence of Krishna. He gives no importance to it. So Swarup Damodar said, Swarup Koye Shiva Suno Savadani Vrindavan Sampartuma Nahi Poriman. Then Swarup Damodar said, Oh Srivas, have you forgotten the opulence of Vrindavan? No, we are very foolish. We go to Vrindavan, we think Vrindavan is very dirty, Vrindavan is very poor, Vrindavan is very hot, Vrindavan is very cold. I have other things to do. Other things are more important. Sometimes we forget the opulence of Vrindavan. So Swarup Damodar reminds us, Vrindavana Sahajait Aishwara Shinu Dwarka Vaikunta Sampad Tare Kavinu. Vrindavan have unlimited opulence, like an ocean. And Dwarka and Vaikunta not even equal to this one drop. Opulence means wealth, mystic power, riches, knowledge. These are all some part called wealth. So Vrindavan is like an ocean of opulence, an ocean of Aishwarya. And Vaikunta and Dwarka are not even equal to one drop. What is the proof? Param Purushottam Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Jahadanita Vrindavanagam. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Ete Chamsa Kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavansa. Two-handed Krishna, two-handed form of Krishna. Gopavesh Natubara dressed as a coward boy. This is the original form of the Supreme. So much proof is there. Okay, move on, don't sleep. Therefore, Ram, Narasimha, Vishnu, these are all Krishna's expansions. So whatever wealth Vishnu has, whatever wealth Narayan has, whatever Ram has, or Sringadeva, or what anyone else has, it cannot be more than the original. So all the opulence opulences of all the other incarnations, not even equal to one drop. Okay, Shamsuna, no more Dubai, London. We think these are very good places. But what is Vrindavan? We think, what is Vrindavan? Dirty place, low place. We think like that. Other places are more high, more enjoyment, more opulence. But don't forget what is Vrindavan. Anything else, what to speak of the material world, even the opulence of the spiritual planets, not even equal to one drop of brush. Therefore, because Krishna is the original Supreme Lord, then Vrindavan is the original holy place. So nothing can be more than that. What to speak of equal to that? What is that? Chintamani Mae Bhumi Ratnera Bhavan. In Vrindavan, like here in the material world, the walls, the floors are made of stone, brick. These days, no one even uses brick, but they rebar, cement. But in Vrindavan, all the houses are made of Chintamani stone. So valuable. We do not have it in the material world. Chintamani is a very special stone. One time, Sanatana Goswami was there in Vrindavan. And Akbar, that time Akbar, who was king of India, the Mughal, he was the king. And he heard the glories of Vrindavan and the greatness of Sanatana Goswami. So Akbar went to see him. Akbar did pranam to Sanatana Goswami. Akbar had so much pride. I have so much wealth, so many servants, so much opulence. So he asked Sanatana Goswami, I want to do some seva. Then Sanatana Goswami could see he had so much pride and no understanding what is Vrindavan. So Akbar said, I want to do some service to Vrindavan. So that time, Sanatana Goswami was in Keshigat. Just there. Like 5 minutes walk from our temple, Keshigat. So one of the ghats going down, so people could bath safely, kings would make steps of stone going into the water. So people could take bath and come out. Otherwise the mud is slippery, nowhere to keep your cloth. So one of the steps going down was broken. So Sanatana Goswami said to fix one of these steps. How much that cost? 200 US, 300 US maximum. Then Akbar became insulted. What? I'm such a big person. Big person means big seller. So he became angry at Sanatana Goswami, but then he didn't remember, no. Everyone says Sanatana Goswami is not ordinary. So he checked himself and kept humble. Sanatana Goswami put his hand on his head and blessed him. And for one moment he had darshan of the transcendental Vrindavan. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrahma Seva. Millions of gopis which are more than Lakshmi. The water is nectar. The dust is Chintamani. If you take millions of all the gold of Guyana, multiplied by 1,000 times, this cannot buy one speck of dust of Chintamani. So invaluable, so expensive. Then Akbar said, if I sell my whole kingdom, I cannot even buy one speck of dust of Vrindavan. And Sanatana Goswami wants me to fix a whole staircase. So his pride was crushed. Anyway. So Vrindavan, everything is made of Chintamani. Chintamani is a very valuable stone. Anything you want, it gives you. There's another stone very valuable called a sparshamani. If you touch it to gold, if you touch that stone to any metal, that metal becomes gold. But cannot make more than gold. But in Chintamani, if you want 5 million Chintamani, sparshamani's, Chintamani can do that. So the Brijbasi is, all Vrindavan is made of Chintamani, but Brijbasis don't need anything. So they just sweep the Chintamani dust and just throw it outside. Swaha, Govinda Swaha. Kalpa Vriksha Bhatta Yaha Sahaje Karavan Pushpapal Vinakaya Namagyam. In Vrindavan, the trees are Kalpabriksha trees. Kalpabriksha means desire-fulfilling trees. Hey, Mani. These children grow up to be idiots, this whole time on the computer screen. In temple, these things now. Otherwise, she don't start listening now. When she starts, and learn bad habits from childhood. So, this Kalpavriksha. In the heavenly planets, there's also trees which fulfill all desire. Indra, the king of heaven, has forests of these trees in the Nandakanan gardens. If you go to these trees, whatever you want, those trees become that. If you want a beautiful woman, that tree becomes a beautiful woman. If you want a woman wants a beautiful man, that tree becomes like a demigod. But they cannot give more than that. But the trees in Vrindavan can give anything you want. But the Brijabasis don't need anything. They just take the fruits and take the flowers and make flower gardens for Krishna. They have no desire. So there are also cows, Kamadhenus. Scripture describes the Kamadhenus. There was one Kamadhenu that was owned by Jagannath. Jagannath was the father of Parasura. He had one Kamadhenu. What you want, that cow give you. So one day, one Kshatriya named Sahasra Arjuna, he was a devotee of Lord Shiva. So he had 1,000 arms. Sahasra means 1,000. So he would play the mridanga when Shiva would dance. Imagine mridanga with 1,000 arms. So Shiva was very pleased with him. So Sahasra Arjuna was very powerful. Even it's described, one time he was there and Ravan came to fight with him, Ravan. Sahasra Arjuna just picked him up and put him in his armpit. So powerful he was. And then when he got home, he put Ravan in a cage and let the children play with him. He was so strong. So one day he was passing through the forest with his huge army, and he came to Jagannath's ashram. Then Jagannath, oh Maharaj, please, you and your whole army, stay the night in my ashram. I will feed you, I will take care of you. But Sahasra Arjuna was thinking, come on, I have millions and millions of soldiers. How much, what he has? Just some fruits, some potatoes, some spinach. But Jagannath had a Kamadhenu. So he prayed to Kamadhenu, please provide everything for the king and his soldiers. So the Kamadhenu produced unlimited wealthy mansions. Each soldier had his own mansion. Each soldier had his own mansion. Each soldier had his own personal cooks, dancing girls. Whatever he wanted was 15, 20, 30 preparations. There was wine, music. Each soldier had his own palace. Then Jagannath, when Sahasra Arjuna saw the wealth of this one Kamadhenu, he became crazy. He said to the king, give him to me. King said, no, I need this Kamadhenu to produce ghee for yajna. So Sahasra Arjuna killed Jagannath and took the cow by force. That's why Parashuram attacked Sahasra Arjuna, killed Sahasra Arjuna, and killed all generations of Kshatriyas, 21 generations. Just for one Kamadhenu. But the Brijabasis, they have millions and millions of Kamadhenus, but they don't need anything. They just milk the cows. They don't need anything else. So who can imagine the opulence of Krishna, the opulence of the Brijabasis? That is more than Vaikuntha, more than anything in this world. So, Gopal coming for Kartik? You think, no man, their spies be higher than Vrindavan. Gopal, try to believe all these things. These are not just stories. This sort of Damodar telling what is the glories of Vrindavan. So, In Vrindavan there are millions of Kamadhenus, but the Brijabasis don't need anything. They just take the milk. The people have no desires. So, even so much wealth, so much opulence, but when Krishna left Vrindavan, that Vrindavan could not give them any happiness away. Anyway, that's another topic. So, the Brijabasis are not enjoying Krishna's opulence. The Brijabasis only want to serve Krishna. Then when Krishna left, they don't know we have everything, we can live a good life, happy, but no. Such is the high degree of their prema. Even all the opulence of Vrindavan could not give even one drop of happiness without Krishna's direct association. So, Sahaj lokera kata yaha divyagit sahaj gamana kori yache mitra prati. In Vrindavan, the speech of the ordinary villagers, this is like song, like music. No, that is Gita. Like Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes I listen to my own voice recording, it sounds like a frog. But Krishna, imagine in the middle of the Mahabharata war, millions of soldiers ready to kill each other. And Krishna speaking philosophy. Very high class also. But this is so beautiful, this is like a song. Bhagavad Gita, the song of Bhagavan. Sometimes we get nervous. We cannot speak, we cannot think what to say. But Krishna and Brijabasis, they just speak. This is like song, like amrit, nectar to the ears. And when they walk, Sahaj and Guyana Kori Yakshanitya, and their walking is like dancing. Imagine what their dancing is like. You cannot imagine. Sarvatra Jal Yaha Amrita Saman Chidananda Jyoti Shratya Yaha Murtiman. In Vrindavan, the water is like nectar. And Brahma Jyoti is fully manifest there. Lakshmi Jini Guna Yaha Lakshmi Samaj Krishna Vamshakoriya Priya Sakhikaj. The gopis there are superior even to the goddess of fortune. They surpass the goddess of fortune in all qualities. Therefore, when Lakshmi wanted some chance to serve like the Brijabasis, ultimately she is not qualified for it. Therefore, even when Umarama, Satyasachi, even when others like the Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, Rukmini, the wife of Krishna and Dwarka, Lakshmi, the wife of Lord Narayan, when they see Radhika's beauty, Radhika's qualities, Radhika's effulgence, that burns them to ashes, Radhika's sweetness. They realize we do not even have even one drop of the qualities of Radharani. So Lakshmi in Gunayaha Lakshmana Samaj, Krishna Sukoriya Priya Sakhikaj. So the gopis there, they are more than any goddess of fortune, in qualities, in beauty, in youthfulness, in wealth, in artistic abilities, everything they have. And Krishna is there doing what? Just playing the flute. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpatarava, this Brahma Samhita, in the beginning of creation, when Lord Narayan manifests the Vedas in the heart of Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma, Krishna gave him darshan at that time, in the beginning of creation. That time Brahma spoke these prayers, the Brahma Samhita. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India, he heard the Brahmanas chanting this fifth chapter. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made copies and he brought those copies back to Puri, and from there it went to Bengal and through the whole world. So Jiva Goswami says at the time of Lord Brahma, 100 chapters were there. But now on, because that is, imagine the beginning of creation. So many trillions and trillions of years. Now only 5th chapter remains. But that 5th chapter contains everything, all Siddhanta. Shriya Kanta Kanta Param Purusha Kalpataravo, this Brahma Samhita. The girls of Vrindavan, the gopis, they are super goddesses of fortune. super goddesses. The only one Purush is there, one enjoyer of Vrindavan. Who is that? That is Krishna. The trees there are all Kalpavriksha, Vishvakami trees. The land is made of Chintamani. The water is nectar. Talking is singing, walking is dancing. And Krishna's constant companion, the Priyavamsi, the fruit. The bliss of Vrindavan is the Brahmajogi that is everywhere. Vrindavan is the topmost spiritual place. Now we are thinking, Vrindavan in India and Golok Vrindavan, we are thinking these are two separate places. That is our foolishness. They are not two separate places. They are the same place. By Krishna's Achinta Shakti, inconceivable potency, Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world manifests here in the material world. It's not two places, it's one. Only difference is name. There it's called Golok, and when it's in this earth, it's called Gokul. Only difference is name. But we cannot see it because our senses are material. Atahasi Krishna Namadina Baba Grihamitya Sevanukha Hijivado Swayameva Spurityata. Because we have a mood of enjoyment, when we go to Vrindavan, we just see that material things. If we had a mood of service to Vrindavan, then the real nature of Vrindavan would manifest. So, the ankle bells worn by the gopis, this is Chintamani. The trees are Vishwakam trees. Chintamani Charana Bhushana Angananam Shringar Pushpatarava Shuranam Vrindavani Prajadanananu Kamadenu Vrindani Chatushita Shri Ahovidata. Bilvamangal Thakur, great devotee. Even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood manifested in different devotees like Bilvamangal, like Jayadev Goswami. So same thing he is writing there. This book, Krishna Karnamrita, this was also brought by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from South India. Srivas Thakur heard this and began dancing in ecstasy. He making some sound here, I don't know. Krishna Karna, show us how it's done. Srivas began dancing, making some sound here. Slapping his armpits with the palm of his hand, he making some noise like that. And Srivas laughing very loudly and dancing. Means Srivas knows all these things. But sometimes, unless there's some opposition, it not manifests. Just like sometimes Trivika Maharaj would fight with Buddha. Then Madhav Maharaj said, he asked Trivika Maharaj, why are you always against Gurudev? It seems like that. And Trivika Maharaj laughed, no, I'm not against. A bee nest is full of honey. Unless you poke it, that honey not come out. That is my job to poke. So what's inside Narayan Maharaj comes outside. So Srivas, hearing all this, he became very happy. He began, because to be defeated by a Vaishnava is great happiness. So Srivas, not envious, he began dancing in ecstasy. So seeing Srivas's ecstasy, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also began to dance. Rasavesh Prabhu Nitya Swaruparagam Bolo Bolo Boli Prabhu Mote Nijukam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, hearing what Swarup Damodar said, he began dancing in ecstasy. Speak more, speak more. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ears were like this. I want to hear more about Vrindavan. Hearing from Swarup Damodar, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasy awoke. In this way, the whole of Jagannath Puri was flooded by prem. After seeing all this, Lakshmi, she went back. The servants of Jagannath said, don't worry, 1 or 2 more days, then Jagannath will return. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, Afternoon came. 4 Sankirtan parties were manifest. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love increased as the devotees chanted. So, who were in the different chanting parties? Try to remember. In the Rath Yatra time when the chariot was going, there were 7 Sankirtan parties. Each party had 2 kartal players, 2 mridangas, 4 kartals, 1 main singer. So one party was, I cannot remember, there's 7 parties with it when the chariot was going. Each party had 1 main dancer, like this. So Nityananda was also there. Nityananda's incarnation of Balaram. Radha Premadesh Prabhu Vaira Simati Nityananda Durideko Koilena Shruti. While Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was absorbed in this ecstasy, the mood of Radhika came. When the mood of Radhika came, then Nityananda moved to a distance. Right? Nityananda moved away and offered praise. Because Nityananda, Balaram, his older brother. So when Radhika is there, then Balaram cannot be there. Balaram goes to a distance, like respect. When Gurudev would say, Nityananda can be seen as Ananda Manjari, in what mood Gurudev was speaking? Because here it said when Mahaprabhu would come in the mood of Radhika, then Nityananda would move to a distance. So it means not that Nityananda is Ananda Manjari, but you can see him like Ananda Manjari. But he is not Ananda Manjari, he is Balaram. Understand, Anupam? Don't misunderstand. You can see someone as anything you like according to your mood, doesn't mean he is that. Again and again we have to repeat the same thing. Like in India, there's many people that chant a new mantra. Bhajo Nitai Gaur, Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. There was one Sahaja, his name was Radharaman Chanan. So when he died, he said that verse. Bhajo Nitai Gaur, Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. So the disciples heard that and they made a new mantra. So you see, they do not chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They do not chant that. They chant the new mantra. Bhajanita Gaur Hare Sham, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. They say, no, Mahamantra is just for chanting silently to yourself, for japa. They say like this. So they chant japa silently, but when they do Sankirtan, they chant this verse. But Guru Maharaj would say this verse is very wrong. Why? Nitai Gaur means Krishna Balaram. When Radha Krishna is there, how can Krishna and Balaram be there at the same time? Not possible. When Radha Krishna is there, then Mahaprabhu can be there. Because Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna. But Balaram and Nityananda cannot be there at that time. Because different mood. Everyone understand? So you cannot just make up your own mantras. That's the problem, no? Gurudev says something, people misunderstand. And this becomes new parampara. For hundreds of years. I never say Narayan Maharaj said. But he never said. So when Nityananda, when Mahaprabhu would come in the mood of Radhika, Baladev, Nityananda would move away. In Vedic culture, when the girl marries, she goes to the house of the husband. But the young girl who married, she will come in the house of the father. So even now in India, when older brother is there, or father is there, the young girl cannot show her face. So she always covers her face inside the house, all of it. So the older brother and the father will not look at her, maybe some bad mood will come in. So she always protects her chastity. So when Radhika is there, how Balaram can be there? So Balaram moves to a distance to respect. These are very subtle things, but you should know all these things. Very clearly it says in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Balaram's mood is not an Ananda Manjari, but you can see him like that. So, Nityananda dekhe Prabhu Bhavavesh, Katina Oisi Lai Kichu Dodadesh. Seeing the eternal ecstasy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radhika, Nityananda did not approach, but he moved away to a distance. But when Mahaprabhu would fall, only Nityananda could catch him. So Nityananda Bina Prabhu ke Dare Konjan Prabhu Aveshnaya Enore Kirtan. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God, inside of his millions of universes. So when he would fall, who could catch him? No one could catch him. Only Nityananda could catch him. So when the Lord would fall and Nityananda would catch, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood would go away. So what to do? So sometimes seva is very subtle thing. What seva to do, what seva not to do, we always have to be careful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, absorbed in the mood of Radhika. Nityananda was a little distance away, then who will stop Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Only one person could hold him, that was Balaram, Nityananda. But Nityananda was a little distance, so how to keep all devotees were tired. Seeing the situation, Lord Chaitanya came again to external consciousness. Actually, I read a very nice thing yesterday. He was saying, there was one devotee, Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan. I read this yesterday, I was very, very interested. So, they were installing the new deities. I cannot remember where. So Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, he was called Pujari of the Gaudiya Math. Most main deities in the Gaudiya Maths, the old temples, were installed by him. Like in our Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math in Vrindavan, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj installed those deities. So I think Jagannath Gaudiya Math everywhere, because he was very expert in that set. When he'd do his Gayatris, it would take 2-3 hours. He would spend 2-3 hours doing his Gayatri. Then someone asked him, why your Gayatri takes so long? And he said, because I installed many deities around the world. And those people are doing proper seva, I don't know. But this is my responsibility because I called Bhagavan in this way. So when he do Gayatri, he goes to all the deities he established and does worship of each deity. That's why his Gayatri took 2-3 hours. So, to install the deities is also a big process. In February, we will be installing our new deities there in our temple in Mayapur. Everyone must come. Okay, Gopal, they want to hear no. This is once in a lifetime. If you don't have money, I'll pay for your ticket. Don't worry. I promise. If you have no money, I will pay your ticket. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. Install deities by deities on the hand. This is not some small thing. This is a very big thing for the Sampradaya. So anyway, they cooked all the food, the offering. But what to do, because the installation is not finished, this take 1 or 2 hours more, and all the Vaishnavas were there. So Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj, his name was Narottam-Ananda, he preached to Gurudev to come and take initiation from Bhakti Pragyan Kesava Maharaj. So all the devotees were waiting, but the deity has not eaten. So he took some offering and he went there. And then he said, now distribute. Because the Vaishnavas are our worshipful guests and they're all hungry, then how Bhagavan will be pleased by that? So even before the food was offered, he said, distribute. Anyway, very subtle things in Vaishnava behavior. Because even Bhagavan not eat, but the Vaishnavas eat, Bhagavan happy by that. He's not sad by it. So anyway, what is seva? How to do seva is ordinary persons like us, we cannot understand. But always very high class person, they can understand these very, very subtle things. No? So seeing the situation, Swarup Damodar informed Lord Chaitanya, everyone is tired, so please stop. So in that Gundicha Mandir, there is a garden there. Nearby. But when we went with Gurudev, twice we went to these same gardens. They're just on the side there. And Gurudeva, when we went there in 96, there was only a few of us there. End of 96. And Gurudeva was showing us many special flowers that only grow in his garden. I remember that. So these gardens are still there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the flower garden with all the devotees. And after resting for some time, he took bath near there. There was so much Mahaprasad. Okay? Jagannath eats 56 times a day. So much prasad. The temple president, his name was Tulsi. Like here, for 1 week, how much nice prasad we've had every day. Gopal, Sita, how much serving everyone so nice. This is like ideal standard. No temple in the world, they just cook for everyone. I've never seen that. But here, that many programs, everyone, and not just one preparation, there's like 5, 6, 7. This is the glories of their seva. So we should not just don't think, I go there and eat for free. Everyone should also think, I should also give something. Don't think Gopal had a lot of money, he can afford everything. We should not think like this. Everyone should give something, Thakurji's box, and then we also get benefit. So much prasad was there. I don't think this is Gopal's temple. Everyone should think this is our temple, my temple. As we take responsibility for feeding our own children, our own wife, our own parents, we should also think, this temple, my temple, I should also take some responsibility for seva. Giving something Vishnu a little bit? Everyone, don't be miser. Everyone give a little bit every week or every month. And everything go nicely. So much prasad was there. So, didn't need to speak about all this too much. What's the time? Okay. So, I want to speak one more pastime. Because on Friday night, we were speaking about the glories of Lord Chaitanya. So kind, so beautiful. Because he is Radha and Krishna, remember? He's giving ras and also bath. On Friday night we discussed. Because he's Krishna, the Akila Rasa Vritamurti, he's the object of ras, the object of seva, and he also giving mood of seva. So both things are given. They have the most kind incarnation. So Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj would say the Hare Krishna movement is kitchen religion. Kitchen religion. You go any normal Hindu temple, what they give you for prasad? Okay, I don't know what they do. In India they call batisha, like some condensed sugar, something like that. When you come in Gaudiya temple, what do you get? 5 sabjis, 3 dals, puri, there's sweets, everything. So this is a big part of our movement, cooking nice preparations and offering to Bhagavan. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying in Puri, then because sannyasis should not touch fire, they say I've heard like that, sannyasis should not touch fire. So sannyasi generally doesn't cook. So people would invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch. So everyone who does not want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come to their house for lunch. So one day Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, please come to my house for 1 month. Then in 1 month, there's 30 days, so every day you come to my house for prasad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I cannot do that. A sannyasi cannot eat in one place for 30 days. Then his dharma is destroyed. Sannyasi means madhuka. Madhuka like a flower. Flower just takes a bee. Thank you, brother. A bee just takes a little bit from each flower. Right? A little bit. He doesn't go one flower and destroy it. He'll take everything. Just a little bit from each. So Mahaprabhu said, I cannot go 30 days in one house. This is against sannyas. So I will come for 1 day. Then Sarvabhauma said, no, at least 1 week. This way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed to come. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was the guru of the king of Jagannath Puri. Excuse me. So his disciple was Prabhupada. He was also the guru of Vedanta, so much respectable person. So his wife, I cannot remember her good name. So when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, tomorrow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will take prasad in our house, And then they both became too much happy. Sadhguru went to the market, and you can imagine how many types of sabji he brought back. So early in the morning, him and his wife began cooking. A little bit greedy. What preparations? Pizza was not one of them, I can tell you that. So they cooked hundreds and hundreds of preparations. You hear this, you also become too much happy. Okay. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before he went for lunch, then the devotees were talking with him. Then Advaitacharya said, I do not believe that you are Krishna. Krishna means cowherd boy. And cowherd boys always have one stick to move the cows and other things. When Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he asked Shamarani to paint one deity of Vishnu that is called Karta Mahasra. And in that picture you see Vishnu has a thin stick. So Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he saw that picture and goes, my Krishna also has a very thin stick. He uses them when he gently moves the cows from one place to another. So he said that time, I also want to be, his voice became choked, I also want to be the friend of Krishna. Like that. So he directly saying by own mouth, I want to be Sakirath, the friend of Krishna. I want to go cow grazing with him. Cowherd boy means with stick. So Advaitacharya said, I only believe you are a cowherd boy if you could whirl this stick fighting. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that stick and began spinning it very fast like a firebrand. You know, like these, what you call sparklers, you put them very fast, it looks like a circle of fire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was spinning that stick so fast like a firebrand. He'd throw it in the air, catch it between his legs, catch it behind his head. Then Nityananda also began doing the same thing, both with Krishna and Balaram. So, anyway, it's a big chapter. I was reading today. So, of course, Advaita Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had deities. There was a room full of food. And his wife was Satira Mata, Satira Devi. They cooked unlimited amounts of food. And what are they? He cooked 6 pounds of rice. What's that? 3.5 kilos. Imagine. And on the top he poured ghee. So much ghee he poured, the ghee was flowing out the bottom of the pile of rice. That was all on one huge banana leaf. There were also many pots made of the bark of a banana tree. If you take the bark of a banana tree and you bend it, it becomes like a pot. They were filled with so many different types of vegetables. There were 10 types of spinach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liked spinach very much. There was soup called sukta. These are all Bengali preparations. Didi also makes sukta. It's like muri, what's muri? Turnip, green papaya, Karela, like this. It's called sukta. It's a little bitter, but very nice. Also, it had neem leaves inside it, so bitter taste. There were many preparations. There was fried curd, onion. There was buttermilk. There were many types of dals. Dugda tumbi, that's like a type of pumpkin cooked in milk, like a sweet rice made of pumpkin. Dugda kusmanda. Lafra is mixed vegetables. Mocha ganda, like the banana flower, the banana tree before it becomes flowers. If you cut that and you open it, now it has millions and millions of banana flowers. There's one filament, you take that out and make that into a sabji, very nice. I'm talking all these things and you're giving me water. Mocha bhaja. Mocha bhaja means fried banana flowers, and other vegetables. There were unlimited varieties of roots, full body, hundreds and hundreds of different sabji preparations. You know, like in, especially this Govardhan Puja, Didi cooks like 100 or 120 preparations alone. She cooked like 100 preparations. Eggplant, especially eggplant with neem leaves. This is great. You ever do that, Gopal? What? Take some neem leaves when they're young, wash them, pick them and fry them. And you put that with eggplant, it's so tasty. There were body means fried dals. Potol, something they don't have in Ghana. So nice. I was watching videos yesterday how to grow. It's quite easy. Squash, pumpkin, soups, mung dal, different types of drinks, 6 types of chutneys, 7 types of sour preparations. Bada is like a, what's a bada? Like little pakora, just made of fried dal. Sweet bananas, sweet cakes, coconut cakes, cream cakes, kunja bada, dukichi, dukta laklaki. Laklaki means squash cooked in milk. And so many preparations, hundreds and hundreds. There was sweet rice mixed with ghee. There was champakala, that's condensed milk with camphor in it, natural camphor. There was rasal, matita, dahi, sandesh, apar, sandesh, you know, sandesh. If you boil milk and condense until it becomes thick. Like yesterday we did Harinam, remember that all the guys asked, hey man, give me the chocolate fudge? Remember? Or he wasn't there. They all asked you chocolate fudge, that means sandesh. You should teach them next time. You know chocolate fudge, man, it's sandesh. So many preparations of Bengal and Orissa. You can imagine maybe 100, 150 preparations. This huge pile of rice. So, Dui Pashu, Ganda, Shita, Jala, there were so many different types of drinks. He put tulsi leaf on each preparation. There were many sweet balls as well as all the prasad from the Jagannath temple. All the stuff he cooked and all the special preparations from the Jagannath temple. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, that means there's probably like half of this room, half of this temple room just full of sabjis and rices and dals and sweets and just hundreds and hundreds of preparations. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya washed his feet. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was astonished to see all the different preparations. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is astonishing. How could someone cook so many preparations in only 5 or 6 hours? Even 100 men cooking on 100 stoves could not produce so much. The food has already been offered to Krishna. I see tulsi flowers everywhere. You are very successful because Radha Krishna have accepted all these offerings. The color of the rice is very attractive. It appears Radha Krishna have eaten all this. Oh Bhattacharya, your good fortune is unlimited. Otherwise, how could you do such seva? Only someone blessed by Bhagavan can do this type of seva. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am sannyasi, so just give me a little bit of rice and a little bit of the mixed vegetable. I cannot eat so much. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya smiled. Don't cheat me. I know how much you eat. No? In Dwarka you have 16,108 wives. Each wife is cooking for you every day. Your father Vasudeva has 18 other wives. They are also cooking for you. In the Jagannath temple you eat 56 times a day, and each time is hundreds and hundreds of kilos. In Vrindavan your mother cooks for you. Your father's 4 uncles, their mothers also cook for you. Their wives also cook for you. In this temple, you eat 52 times a day. Did I say 52? 52. Did I say less? 52 times a day. And each time you eat hundreds of buckets of prasad. In Vrindavan, Braje Ye Kuda Mama Prishadi Gopagan Sokhaka Brinda Sabavagare Krishanya Bhajan. In Vrindavan you have your father's brothers, your father's youngest brothers, your mother's sisters, husbands and wives. You have husbands of your father's sisters and many coward men. You have your coward boyfriends. You eat twice a day, morning and evening. At Govardhan Puja, you ate millions and millions of preparations. So you said, I can only eat this much rice and this much sabji, please do not cheat me. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I'm a very small, insignificant living entity. Please accept a little bit of food from my hands, prasad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled, and because the devotee wants, he began eating. Because Bhattacharya was busy bringing more sabris, more dals, more rice, more everything. Bhattacharya had one son-in-law. His name was Amoga. Because he was busy serving Lord Chaitanya, Amoga came to the door. And imagine, he saw this one sannyasi surrounded by hundreds of pots of sabji and rice and everything. So he was a great fault finder. And he would criticize everyone. So because Bhattacharya was busy distributing prasad, Amoga came in. And what did he say? E ana pitta hoy dosa balajan, ekala sannyasi kore eketta bhakshan. This is enough food for 50 or 100 men. How can this sannyasi alone eat so much? So when Amoga said that, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became so angry. His eyes became red. He took a stick and went to beat Amoga on the head. But Amoga ran away to save his life. Bhattacharya then very angry because he could not beat Amoga. Amoga escaped. Then Bhattacharya began to speak very bad language. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this and began to laugh. Because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is Raj Pandit, the guru of the king. And he is, hey, you bloody this, that, you can imagine. Using very bad language, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled. So immediately, when Bhattacharya was criticizing Amoga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed, but Bhattacharya was not laughing. Sometimes we make a mistake in spiritual life. We have 6 enemies: lust, greed, anger, madness, illusion, and envy. Only envy cannot be used in the service of Bhagavan. But anger can also be used in the service of Bhagavan, like Hanuman. When he realized Ravan had kidnapped Sita, how angry he became. He burned the whole of Lanka to ashes, so much anger. So if we hear someone criticizing Gurudev, someone misrepresenting Gurudev, and we don't become angry, it means we have no love for Gurudev. It means we have no love. Gurudev would often say this. One time Gurudev was asking, what's his name? Madhuvakta. Gurudev asked him, who is a real disciple? And everyone was saying this, that. But Gurudev was not satisfied. And then no one could satisfy Gurudev. Who is a disciple? Who is a disciple? Who is a real disciple? Then no one could answer. Then Gurudev said, the real disciple, he'll never see the face of that person who is opposed to the Guru. He'll never see their face. And we are so stupid, we're making best friends with these people. He's my God brother, I love you. And we think I'm being very good disciple of Gurudev, but actually you're showing you are the lowest. You know? So Sarvabhauma became very angry, speaking bad words. You know? And when the mother, Bhattacharya's wife, she heard this, she began to strike her head. Ah. She said, let my daughter become a widow. Means let Amoga die. I curse him to die. In India, this is the worst thing when a girl marries and the husband dies, she cannot marry him. But Sati was saying, let my daughter become a widow, let him die. Both Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife were both lamenting. Why? Bhattacharya said, we came to our house, we were invited to our house to serve you, but instead of serving you, only you were criticized. So both were very unhappy. Anyway, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finished his meal. Bhattacharya gave him a garland, some masala to wash his mouth. Ninda korete tuma ayanu nijaga e aparat prabhu kshama karuma. I brought you to my house only to have you criticized. This is a grave offense. Please forgive me, please forgive me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so generous. No, Amoga said true. I was eating too much. No offenses there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left and returned home. Bhattacharya followed. Again and again, Bhattacharya, oh, I did wrong. Because of me, you were criticized. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went home and said, Amoga he can never come to this house again. I should kill him, but I cannot kill him because he is a Brahmin. I cannot kill him. Also, I cannot commit suicide. Shastra says, if we're in a place where someone is criticizing Hari Guru and Vaishnavas, what should we do? If we have power, we cut their tongue. It means kill them. Before, if someone criticized Hari Guru Vaishnava, the kings would put that person to death. So Bhattacharya said, I cannot kill him, but he is a Brahmin. I cannot kill myself because I am also a Brahmin. So what should I do? I never see the face of that person again. He's never allowed in my house. In this way, he made a very strong vow. Instead, I shall never see the face of that blasphemer. I reject him. I give up my relation with him. I shall never speak his name. Inform my daughter to give up her husband. When the husband falls down, the wife should give him up. Right? So, that night what happened? Amoga immediately caught cholera. Cholera is a very terrible disease. Now they have medicine. At that time, 500 years ago, cholera means death sentence. When Amoga heard that, when Bhattacharya heard Amoga was dying of cholera, he became happy. It is very good that Providence is doing what I could not do. This is from Mahabharata. Remember? The Pandavas were in exile for 12 years. So the Pandavas were living in Kamyavan. And because they're in the forest, what they eat? Any leaves or fruits or some potatoes from the ground. They cannot eat cooked food, no rice, no chapatis, 12 years. So imagine if that was us, we would not live very long. So the Pandavas, when the Kurus heard this, the Kurus said, very nice, let's go and have a festival next to the Pandavas' camp. We'll cook so much sabjis and vitamals and puris. So the smell from our cooking will go into their camp and they'll feel very bad. So as they were doing this to disrespect the Pandavas more, there was one Gandharva from the heavenly planets, whose name was Chitara. So he made some fight with the Kurus. The Kurus were taking bath, there was some fight with them. The Gandharvas were very strong. They took Duryodhana as a prisoner and were taking him to the sky as a slave. That time Duryodhana was crying, help me, help me. That time Bhimsen said, very good. Providence is doing what we could not do. Understand? So the same thing. No? What Bhim said, what we have had to arrange with great endeavor by collecting elephants, horses, chariots, and infantry soldiers has been accomplished by the Gandharvas. That was speaking by Bhim. I could not kill him, I could not kill himself, but he is dying automatically. So, one devotee, Gopinathacharya, some say he's the incarnation of Baladeva Vibhuti. He went to tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu everything that had happened. Husband and wife, Bhattacharya and Sati were fasting because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was disrespected in their house. I won't eat there. I will not eat anything. And Amoga was dying of cholera. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went to Amoga's house. He placed his hand on the chest of Amoga and spoke as follows. Sahaja Nirmale Brahmana Ridoy Krishna Bosutiye Yogya Shtanahoy. The heart of the Brahmana is pure by nature. Therefore Krishna sits there. But how have you allowed your heart to be contaminated by the chanda, the dog eater of jealousy? Now your heart is contaminated. Sarvabhauma Sange Kumar Kalusha Hoyekshai Kalmas Kuchigajive Krishna Nalaya. Because of the association of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all your contamination is destroyed. When a person's heart is pure, they can chant the Mahamantra. Uta Amoga Tulila Krishnanam Achire Tumar Kripa Korebe Bhagavan. Amoga, get up. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put his hand on his chest. Amoga, get up. Chant the Mahamantra. If you do, Krishna will give mercy to you. After hearing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and being touched by him, Amoga really stood up. He began to chant the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He became mad with ecstasy and began to dance. As he chanted and danced, tears flowed from his eyes, his hair stood on end, his voice became choked. He became stunned. Perspiration flowed from his body. Seeing these waves of ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed. Amoga fell at the feet of the Lord. Please forgive my offense. By this mouth I have criticized you. Amoga began to slap himself. By this mouth I have blasphemed you. He began to slap himself very hardly until his cheeks became red. Again and again he slapped himself. Finally Gopinathacharya came and held his hands very tightly. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pacified Amoga, you are the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Therefore you are also the object of his mercy. Everyone in the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is very dear to me, including his servants and maidservants. Even a dog in the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is very dear to me. Aparadaye Shadalao Krishnanam, don't commit offense. Always chant the name of Krishna. After saying this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Mahaprabhu said to Sarvabhauma, Amoga is just a child. Why are you so angry? Why are you fasting? Get up and take your bath. Go and see darshan of Lord Jagannath. In this way you will please me. I will stay here and I will not eat until you return. Catching hold of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet, Sarvabhauma said, why did you bring Amoga back to life? It would have been better if he had died. Mahaprabhu said, Amoga is a child. Father does not take seriously the offenses of the boy. Now he has become a Vaishnava A Vaishnava, all his offences are destroyed. Now you give your mercy to him without hesitation. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastimes. So many nice and valuable instructions are there. For us, Shri Rupa Raghunath Padayaras Chaitanya Charamita Guru Krishnadas. At the end of each chapter, Kaviraj Goswami prays to the feet of his two Shiksha Gurus, Shri Rupa Goswami and Shri Raghunath Goswami. So, we'll finish here. Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Where's Damayanti gone? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo.